Good morning, all of you. So, we were doing our second chapter, New Kings and Kingdoms. So, under this chapter, we were started with our topic Cholas. Okay, so we have done the introduction part of Cholas. So, now we are going to start with from Orayar to Thanjavur. I have told you already about this also. Again, we are having a look once again. Okay, so what is given in your textbook? Okay, about Cholas, how the Cholas came to in power, how they were successful to build their administration, strong administration, as well as their empire. Okay, so a minor chiefly family known as the Muttayar held power in the Kaveri Delta. They were subordinate to the Palwas kings of Kanchipuram, Vijayalaya. So we can say that Cholas were the subordinates. They were means might be they were Samantas under Palwas kings, right? So Vijayalaya, who belonged to the ancient chiefly family of Cholas from Urayur. Urayur is a name of place. Okay, so captured the delta from the Muttayar in the middle of the 9th century. He built the town Thanjavur and a temple of goddess Nishumbha Sudhini. Okay, so we can say that they were subordinates of the Palwas. Who were subordinates of the Palwas? Cholas. And later on, might be after performing Hiranyagarbha and all we have talked in this chapter, okay, they also came to be in power, and later on they established their strong empire, okay, which was known as what? Which was known as Chola Empire, right? So it was about means who founded Chola Empire? Chola Empire was founded by the Vijayalaya. Okay, so who was Vijayalaya? Vijayalaya was chief, we can say that. Okay, chief of the Cholas, right? So here you got how the Chola dynasty was started, or who started Chola dynasty and all. Okay, so this dynasty we can say that started in between 800 to 1200 AD, right? The rulers of this dynasty were known as Imperial Cholas, right? Because of the powerful empire which they established in South India. They ruled in South India for nearly 4 centuries. Okay, their capital was Thanjavur or Thanjore. Initially, it was known as Thanjore, and later on, it was known as Thanjavur. Okay, so this was all about the Cholas, how they started their journey of their ruling power and strong administration system, and we can say that their kingdom and dynasty, right? So they have been made many temples and all, as we have already done. Whatever the powerful kings were there during that time, if we talk about medieval period, to show their power and all, they were focusing to build up the temples and other buildings. Okay, so the successors of Vijayalaya conquered neighboring regions, and the kingdom grew in size and power, right? The Pandyas and the Palwa territories to south and north were made part of this kingdom. Okay, as I told you already, the greatest Chola king was Rajaraja Chola. Okay, Rajaraja Chola. Chola dynasty was founded by Vijayalaya, but the strongest or the powerful king of that dynasty was Rajaraja. Okay, he was a brilliant commander, as we have already discussed, right? So became king in 985, expand control over the most of these areas, nearby areas and all. He also recognized the administration of the empire. Okay, who was Rajaraja? Rajaraja was the Rajendra I, son of Rajendra I. Okay, Rajendra I continued his policies. Rajaraja's son, who was the son of Rajarajas? Rajendra I, means first Vijayalaya. After Vijayalaya, strong king was Rajaraja. And after Rajaraja, who was strongest king? Rajendra I continued his policies and raided the Ganga Valley, Sri Lanka, and other Southeast Asian countries and all. Okay, developing a navy for expedition. What kind of expedition? Because they wanted to cover more and more part under their control. So we can say that here we have talked about found Chola dynasty was founded by Vijayalaya. Then after that, after him, strong king was Rajaraja Chola. Then his son Rajaraja I. Right. So we can see that here we have three kings talked about belonging to Chola dynasty. Not only they were in, we can say that skillful in good administration system, they were also good in, or we can say that they were also skillful in to make splendid temples and all. Okay, so bronze sculptures were started to make. Okay, sculptures, the most distinctive feature of Chola craft was what? Making bronze images, right? These bronze images of Cholas are considered amongst the finest in the world. Okay, so means they were making the finest art to make bronze images. Most of the bronze sculptures were the deities. Deities means, who are deities? Their god, goddesses and all, okay, to whom they were worshipping during that time, right? A few sculptures of devotees were also found. So we can say that they have, you will see one sculpture is given here at page number 24, and one temple is given, Brideshwara temple is also given here. You can see here in your book, okay, page number 23, and bronze image you can see at page number 24. So we can say that they were also very skillful to make temples, to make bronze sculptures and all, right? So they have the big temple of Thanjavur and Gangaikonda Cholapuram was built by Rajaraja and Rajendra I. Okay, so they were also finest examples of their temple making and all. If somebody asks who made Thanjavur temple, so the answer will be Rajaraja. If there is a question who built up the Gangaikonda Cholapuram temple, then answer will be Rajendra I. Okay, so these all temples were made in south because they were ruling in south. Okay, so temples were also endowed with land by rulers as well as others also. The produce of this land went into maintaining all the specialists who worked at the temple and very often lived near it. Okay, so we can say that in this way the Cholas were very skillful. They were very, we can say that they were giving importance, okay, temples and all, right, all these things. Okay, so we can see that Carnatic style of music was originally sung in the temple halls. Okay, inscriptions informs us about hospitals near the temple and all, means we can say that not only temples they have arranged, nearby the temples whatever the other things needed by the person, they were also available near that temple. Okay, not only temple were not there, hospitals and other whatever things, they were also available nearby the temple area. These inscriptions, from where we are getting this knowledge? We are getting this knowledge from the inscriptions, how they have been made, the temples and other buildings, right? So the inscriptions also give us a list of medicines maintained in the hospitals and all. Okay, temples were the meeting places for the people. Sometime they also discussed their local issues in the temple and all, because you can see in your this picture, the temple is very big, right? So whatever their issues were there, sometime they were also discussing. Sometime their get together is also going on related to social and cultural functions and all, right? So we can say that they were doing all the things here. Okay, we can say that they were skillful in crafts and all. Okay, so now we are moving to next part of this, that is about agriculture and irrigation. How they were doing agriculture, what were the system they were using, all these things we are going to do now. Okay, so irrigation system, agriculture, many of the achievements of the Cholas were made possible through Cholas, through new developments in agriculture. What kind of new means whatever initial, whatever old policies were there, they have stopped all these things. Okay, so Cholas made new developments in agriculture. They opened up areas for large scale cultivation. Large scale means where they are getting more and more production and all. Okay, they also leveled land and cleared the forest. Cholas learned and introduced the art of growing two crops in a year. So we can say that during 8th century it was also there, two crops in a year they were growing, right? So they excelled in the cultivation of rice also. So this is all about their agriculture and all. Irrigation system, how it was working. Chola had a well organized irrigation system, right? The branches of Kaveri river were divided into several small canals and all, right? So we can say that, okay, so means we can say that the branches of Kaveri were also divided into several small canals and all, channels and all, that deposited fertile fertile alluvial soil on the banks. So the techniques resulted in making the land fertile, as a result in producing good crops. Okay, so means this fertile land was helping to producing good crops. Okay, as they have started the agriculture in open area at large scale, so it was helping very much to them. Cholas were constructed canals to carry water to the fields and all. Okay, so they don't want to, any farmer can get difficulty in irrigation system and all. So methods of artificial water cropping were also used. Okay, in some areas where it is difficult to provide water with the rivers and canals and all, wells were dug, huge tanks were made, right, to collect rainwater and all. So we can see that the irrigation system as well as the agriculture system was very strong under the ruling power or administration system of the Cholas. Okay, a great dam across the Kaveri river was also made at Thanjavur, the capital of granary of the south. Okay, a great dam across the river Kaveri made at Thanjavur, the capital of the granary of the south, it is known as. Okay, so the Chola temples were very rich, hence they took the initiative to invest in agriculture. Means most of the part of the whatever collected money in the temples and all, they were spending only to improve agriculture system and all. Okay, so they gave economic support to bring barren lands under cultivation. Barren lands means what? Where no crop can be grown. Okay, so they were also working on that project so that more and more crops can be grown and production, more and more production can also be done. So we can see that the Cholas period is regarded as one of the most spectacular and remarkable period in Indian history. The reason was that it exhibited all round development and we can see that prosperity of the people living in that particular area, right? So their achievements in the fields of the culture, warfare and agriculture will be, we can say that, remembered through the ages and all. Okay, so all about irrigation and all. Now the turn is administration system, how the administration system of Cholas was working. So that was also very strong. The king was the most powerful person but was expected to take advice of either his council of the minister. Not only the king was taking all the decisions and all, right? So